Hey, what's good, folks? Long time no see. I actually have not been able to stream for a while. But things have slowed down a little bit, and I thought I'd bring the stream up. Give me something to do tonight. Uh, Lately I have been getting some questions about Wolverine and how I have him built. So I thought, just to start tonight, I'd probably go over that really quick before I get to running off into Cosmic Terminals or whatever. Power-wise, I don't think I'm doing anything unique. A lot of Wolverines are playing this way right now, and it's kind of a basic build around Unleash the Beast and Wolverine's Fury Spenders. The core thing here is really Unleash the Beast, along with Eviscerate and Brutal Slash. Over here we've got Healing Factor, Adamantium Skeleton, and Feral Senses all maxed, because these are both these two are just packed with value, so you kind of want to get both of these. The Healing Factor is just a generally good defensive passive. 1 point in the rest of these, you need the CC break. I really like Feral Growl, CC, and Weaken. I use this a lot in Cosmic Terminals. If I had spare points, I'd probably drop them right here. Get some more Bloody Victory, more free damage rating, move speed. I love move speed. And then whatever's left into Hack and Slash, because you really don't need your basic with this build. Between Pims and if you could get a Rune Word, that helps too. You just don't need it that much. And you actually get a pretty high rank in Hack and Slash. Like, I only got 9. I'm still getting rank 27, so not really a big deal there either way. I'm also getting a slashing leap from a weapon, which is good to just like jump over little obstacles and stuff. But the general idea, you know, is pretty straightforward. You just use Unleash the Beast to give you an instant bar of Fury, and then spam your Fury Spenders. And it kind of does an obscene amount of damage, both AoE and single target. It's also a little bit clunky, I guess you'd say, because you have to basically mash Unleash the Beast every time you want to do a Brutal Slash or an Eviscerate. So it's a little bit jank in that way, especially because you have to wait for like a server. You know, there's actually some latency here. It has to wait for the server to give you the Fury. But there's really no comparison, in my opinion, to like any of Wolverine's other builds. It's just so much more effective. Probably not what they meant for this power to do. I don't think this was really intended to work this way, but it works this way. So for the time being, that's what I'm gonna do. I think more important than the build, though, is the gear, because you know, Cosmic Terminals came out and the damage is pretty high in there, and I think content being as easy as it's been for a long time kind of made people very DPS focused, and now there's a tier of content that actually has a moderate hit point requirement, and a lot of people probably went in there and got humbled by the damage. But there's definitely enough itemization for melee right now where you don't have to. It doesn't have to be that way. So one of the biggest things I think is that people really undervalue defense. There's sort of this idea that defense isn't good, and the truth of the matter is that it's not true. It's actually very important, particularly for a guy like Wolverine, who doesn't have really high base mitigation. He needs help in that regard from his base power set, but he does get regeneration. So it's really valuable to be able to improve how good that regeneration is. And the only way you can do that is via mitigation. Like if you stack more health, you're not going to improve the value of this regeneration right here. But if you stack mitigation, that health becomes more valuable on a per point basis. So if you look at the way I've set my gear up, there is actually a fair amount of health here. That's pretty much what this is for. Just health and damage. Got the Fandral blessings on all 4 of these. It's pretty much just the best blessing right now, in my opinion. You get 100 crit, but more importantly, you get 3% dodge, and the dodge is like flat. So even though I had a lot of dodge rating, it still gave me a full 3% dodge. White suit jacket, kind of an underrated artifact. Mine's actually not a very amazing role, but again, damage, health, and then some defense, which is, I think, where I'm at right now, roughly equal to about 1 point of health each. So I kind of want more health than I want defense, just because I have so much defense. Kingpin medallion, another health and damage. If I could get a Tombstone Cosmic, I would. Good luck. If you can get a Cosmic Tombstone, God bless you. And if you can get a Cosmic Tombstone with good rolls, I would hit the strip, because that's like the rarest thing going right now. But second best thing, much easier to farm in my opinion, a Cosmic Kingpin would do ya. This thing's new. They added this just in 2.2, and in my opinion, it's easily the best melee artifact in the game. Like, a good chunk of damage, a good chunk of health, a good chunk of dodge, and then 900 defense when you hit with a melee power, which, you know, you're going to be doing all the time. So it's pretty much just 900 defense. Get one of these, for sure. It's actually not that rare either, so if you can get one, do so. And then the classic. Someday I would like to replace this, and I don't know when someday is. Like, it'll be someday when they fix Spirit in this game. For now, it stays. And it's also got health and dodge, which is great. Both my Relic and my Uru are defense as well. Subterranea, super underrated Relic. Probably the best place to get defense in this whole game. I would typically choose this over Lemuria, although they're both really good. If you already have Lemuria slotted, this is what you should use. If I had to choose, I would probably still take Subterranea, especially for Wolverine, because I already have Life on Hit from Healing Factor. And as far as the Uru goes, they're both pretty close in my opinion, but it's just harder to get 800 defense than it is 200 damage on any slot, really. So I think the opportunity cost there kind of favors the defense. As far as the rune word, that's going to depend on your farming luck or your trading game, I guess. Lunar Eclipse, or Lunkar Eclipse, as it seemed to turn out, is definitely my favorite rune word of the ones that are more accessible right now. If I had my way, I would make a Courage of Asgard, but Courage of Asgard currently takes the rarest rune in the game, and then 4 of the other rarest runes in the game. So when I'll actually be able to make Courage of Asgard, I don't know. Until then, I'll probably be sticking with Lunar Eclipse, because it gives you a nice chunk of defense, some dodge, and then 2 pretty decent procs. The main one is really the 10 Spirit when you hit, when you crit. It's got a 2-second cooldown, but it averages to about 4.5 Spirit a second. And the big thing is that this Spirit, like Pim's, works in combat. You know, most other like if you get spirit regen from like advanced super soldier, that spirit regen only works when you're naturally regenerating spirit. Whereas this is going to work in combat. So a really good item, and that's probably what I would take for any melee, especially a melee dodge hero. Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Black Panther maybe, Spider-Man. This is a really good choice. You could also take Bonebreaker if you want to use this slot for damage. That's actually not a very hard rune to make, and it's really good for anybody melee, because you're not going to get just 200 melee but +1 strength. And strength is the equivalent of about 200 damage rating, assuming you're not already at 7. So that would be a really good choice. Legendary Excalibur, in my opinion, this is an easy win. I would never take Gungnir over this. You can, but you're going to have a lot of work to make up as far as melee damage and defense. 800 damage and 400 crit is actually pretty competitive with Gungnir, with all 4 of the first. So I would absolutely trade 1,000 or whatever that stupid rank 5 Gungnir proc is for 1,000 defense and 50 life on hit. So if you do take Gungnir, you're gonna have to make up that defense somewhere else. Down here with costume, you could actually roll all 4 of these health. Depends on like what your other gear is. I kind of feel comfortable around 20k right now in cosmics, so I tried to boost my crit damage up a little bit. I still have like what 40% crit, so that slot 4 went to crit damage. This is actually something I just started trying out tonight. The Invisible Woman, I just happened to find a really well rolled one, so I'm kind of just trying it out. You know, you could use O'Grady here, or Rasputin's a really good choice. Beast might not even be that bad. Those are probably the top 3. Dum Dum Dugan is okay. I don't think it's going to have as much value as a group buff. Like +1 strength doesn't do anything for some people. And then of the people that strength is good for, some of them hit 7 strength. So for now, Dum Dum Dugan is not really a great item, in my opinion. Especially because I don't think you can still get level 60 Dum Dums. So, hi, what's up, Gangler? So I'm trying this out because, invisibility is actually pretty useful in Cosmics, just to lose all the aggro. And then you get the damage bonus from Tactical Vest again. I don't think there's even a cooldown on this, so try it out. I mainly took it too because it has a nice health roll and a nice crit damage roll, so I wanted to get more crit damage going. 1 through 5. This is actually really important because with this build, you have to, or you want to at least try your damnedest to get rank 40 Unleash the Beast. It's really important, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but one way or the other, you got to try and get 40 here. So you've got 2 choices really. 2, 3, and 4. 2 and 3 won't help you get to rank 40. They can't roll plus skills. They can only roll grant skills. And slot 4, you're not going to trade Old Man Work Boots for any Cosmic. These things give you +6 to the Fury Tree. So they're already giving you the absolute best skill bonus that a Cosmic could give you. Or actually it's 1 short. You could roll like +5 Unleash the Beast, +5. Well, you even couldn't. It's basically the best, and then you also get 1 strength, which is like 200 damage rating, the bonus versus bosses, the spirit cost reduction, the infinite fury when somebody dies, and then +8 to hack and slash, which is good because you don't want to invest points there. So this is like, you can't take this off. So really, you have to choose between slot 1 and slot 5 being a Cosmic, or you're only going to get to like rank 32 Unleash the Beast. In my opinion, I think the Claw slot is the better slot to do that with. Cosmic Claw, in my opinion, is a little bit more competitive than a Cosmic Helm. It's tough because the X-Force Commander is like a group buff. So if you're always soloing, maybe you don't value this that high. But even if you don't, it's still giving you +6 to all 3 of your really important passives. And then +1, even to like Bloody Victory and stuff. But +6 to all 3 of those passives is really good, even if you don't value that aura that highly. More importantly though, it takes a monstrous roll on a helm to get to 40. Actually, I don't even know if I could do it with the helm slot. Come to think of it. Like the helm slot only goes up to +5, whereas the weapon slot goes up to +8. So I actually don't know if you could do that. Maybe if you got +1 all, +1 fury, +5 unleash the beast. It'd be close. It's just easier to do over here. Unfortunately, it does mean you're gonna need to sift through a lot of cosmic claws. Ideally, you would get physical damage, attack speed, +8 unleash the beast, +8 eviscerate, and +8 brutal slash. If you could get that claw, especially if you got it like this with a cosmic might proc, it would be way better than bone claws, frankly. I didn't get quite that close. It took me a while just to get this one, and I could really use a physical roll. But getting to 40 is really important, because if you don't, what happens is that you start alternating between 4 pip and 5 pip uses of Eviscerate or Brutal Slash, and you gain a lot of damage from every pip. If I just sit here and alternate Unleash the Beast and Eviscerate slowly, I'm getting max damage on every one. But if I'm like rank 35, then what happens is the first one is only like it's only going to take 4 pips. And then after I hit with that, the fury I get back from the hit on top of the next one might put me at 5. So you actually lose a bunch of damage there if you don't have rank 40. It's actually worth a ton of, like, if you were trying to use Bone Claws, the huge damage rating on that wouldn't make up for the fact that you're launching some of those at 4 pips. So it's deceptive, it's just super important to have. I think that pretty much covers what I'm doing. I mean, the general gist of it is don't neglect your defense. Like, I don't use Life on Hit, I don't use Lemuria, and he still does really nice in Cosmic Terminals. Kinda. Also, if you look at like how defensive my gear is, you would think that I would suffer in DPS, but you really don't, because so many of these items have offensive value. These quote-unquote defensive items, especially for melee. Oh, dude. That you really just don't sacrifice that much. Yeah, the Cosmic Terminal drop rate. I have had terrible luck with runes in particular in here. Had okay drops still, but I've actually not gotten a rune out of a chest, like a cosmic chest, ever since the runes have come out. So I don't know if they just don't drop out of there or what, but really bad luck with runes in here for me. Okay, not there we go. Ouch. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty self-evident, like how big of a difference defense makes to how much damage. Like, I remember coming in here like around 10k defense, and it's a whole different game. Like even the trash was kind of dangerous sometimes, whereas now the trash is pretty trivial. Aim trash can be kind of dangerous, especially. You know, I'll probably just do all the cosmic terminals in a row here. But like aim trash can be scary. Mostly because the density in aim is kind of gross. There's a lot of ranged. The rocket Rexes when you know you run into a room with 8 blues and like 6 of them have rocket Rex summons. And then worst of all, you've got to fight bosses in rooms full of blues. So if all those guys have like deals more damage or whatever, that could be kind of tough, especially for Wolverine. You know, like as much DPS as I still do, and how tough I am. You know, I can only hit so many guys at a time, and there's gonna be a lot of people getting cheap shots. You know, out of my range. But in general, like I'm not that scared of this guy. You know, Power Cosmic is kind of whatever. I don't want to get hit by a mortar. You can kind of cancel mortar with a lot of powers. I don't know why. But this is not like a struggle. You know what I mean? Like I watched some other people's videos who were very DPS itemized, trying to leverage the old life leech way, and the bosses do enough damage that you do actually need to think about your effective hit points somewhat. You know, you're not gonna out life leech a lot of these hits, but there's enough defensive gear in the game to go the other way.